What is going on, everybody? Welcome back. MTG here with another episode. If you're new to the channel, hi there. I've been using the base M4 MacBook Air for 1 month now. This is my main machine. I also do have in the back a M4 Mac Mini that is for my home studio setup, but for everything else, for this channel, for my other channels, when I'm out on the go, my main machine is the M4 Mac Mini. And in the past month, I've been very happy with it. And like I said, with the base, I think you can get a lot of work done. Now, I do have the 512 gig storage model, so that's the only addition to the base, but everything else with the unified memory is the same here in the M4 MacBook Air. And I want to talk about the chipset first, starting off with M4. It's more than enough for my workflow, I'll tell you that. And in the past month, again, I've been using it to edit videos through Final Cut Pro for my YouTube channels. I've been using Safari and Google Chrome, although I've been using Safari like 90% of the time. I'm thinking about switching browsers, so let me know if there's a decent browser you would recommend me using instead of Safari and Chrome. But so far, you know, I've been using Safari, and on Safari, I end up using Notion to track all of my business work from scripting the videos to publishing, up until publishing pretty much the video. So the entire process is done through there. I also do track the products I need to review and also short form content as well. And not only that, I get to track my finance. I have a finance content planner template type of thing. I also have a social media planner, a Notion template as well. I'll be leaving links in the description down below if you do want to check them out, but they have really enhanced my workflow with the M4 MacBook Air. Now for me, I don't have a need of picking up the M4 Pro or M4 Max chipset like any MacBook Pros that have those, at least not right now. I'm not, my quality is staying stagnant, staying the same as of right now. So until I boost my quality and my production, I'm going to continue to use like the base M series chipset. And the most important thing, obviously, when I'm editing and when I export videos on Final Cut Pro, this machine does not get warm either. Now, it doesn't have a built-in fan, so do keep in mind, if it does get warm, it's going to take a little bit longer to cool down, and it's not going to work the same as if you had like a MacBook Pro that has a built-in fan, which kind of kicks in and gets to keep the machine cooler if it does end up heating up. So I can tell you this though, I haven't had any problems with this device getting warm or anything like that. Now that's going to tie me into my workflow. Again, 2 to 3 streams of 1080p footage at 30 frames per second for Final Cut Pro. I'm not using too many effects or transitions. Like I said, I use Notion and to plan and script my videos and all that stuff pretty much for the business. I use this for content consumption. I'm watching YouTube videos and things like that, responding to my emails. I'm writing articles. I'm using chat. I've been integrating ChatGPT more and more as of late to help me with content ideas, to help me with thumbnail ideas, title ideas, things like that. So it's really come in handy. I'm not really letting ChatGPT, kind of do everything for me, but give me ideas. And sometimes it really does come in handy, especially when it comes to just like thinking outside the box, I'll put it that way. So ChatGPT has become more and more a tool of mine that I use every single day. And recently I did download CapCut right here on my M4 MacBook Air, because I have been using CapCut on my iPhone, but sometimes I want to just, get CapCut videos done right here. It's just an easier editing process and things like that. There's some things that CapCut has that Final Cut Pro doesn't. So I do have that installed as well, and I've been using that as of late. But if you're a college student, you're a high school student, and you don't want to break the bank, you don't need to go M4 Pro, M4 Max, MacBook Pro, or anything like that. You can go with a base MacBook Air. And if you do want to pick up more storage, I would probably recommend you picking up a SSD, and I'm actually going to pull mine out right here. I do have a 4 terabyte Samsung T7 SSD, and this pretty much houses all of like my B-roll content, my final videos, and just other miscellaneous things, but it holds all of my stuff that I need for my YouTube channels. So I have this 4 terabyte, and honestly, I think this is not going to be enough for me by the end of the year. We'll see. Hopefully it is, but if not, I'm going to have to pick up another one, and for next year, I'm going to have to think of a different solution for even more storage. I've been using Samsung SSDs for quite some time now. I think this is my 4th year of using this, and last year I had a 2 terabyte. That ran out, so I wasn't even expecting it to run out, but it did, so I picked up 4 terabyte. We'll see if this runs out. But I would not pay the extra storage to get like a 2 terabyte MacBook Air because it costs so much more, and for that price you'd pay, you can get way more out of a SSD, and it's more affordable too. So I would definitely, this is a accessory I would definitely pick up with your MacBook Air. I'll be leaving a link in the description down below if you do want to check it out. I highly recommend Samsung T7 SSDs. Now, the battery life has been phenomenal, and here's what I can tell you. I can use this for 3 full days while editing on Final Cut Pro, exporting the video, uploading video, browsing the web, watching YouTube videos for 3 full days. And then I put it in charge. And here's the thing, when I'm out on the go, I like to pull out, like let's say I'm in my car and I'm just, sitting for 15, 20 minutes, 30 minutes. Sometimes I have like a portable MacBook or a portable table type of thing, and I put my MacBook Air on there and I get to get work done. I get to edit on the go wherever I go. So if I'm supercharging, or like, let's say I just want to get some fresh air, I'm just driving around, I can park my car, grab some coffee, sit back and sit inside the car again, I'll pull out the table, place my MacBook Air, and I'm all set to go, and I can work as much as I'd like. So this has really become a machine that I bring with me every single day. Like if I have 15, 20 minutes of downtime, I will pull this out and I will make sure that I get work done. So battery life though has been awesome. Now you do have different ways of charging. You have obviously USB-C and MagSafe. I tend to use MagSafe, but in the case where I go on a road trip or I go on like vacation, I don't bring the MagSafe charger with me. I just bring my USB-C cable that charges my devices, because I get to also charge my MacBook Air. There is a headphone jack right here on the right side. I have not used it, and I kind of wish there were a little bit more ports, but it's okay. And I also do appreciate the sky blue color. This is actually my 4th MacBook Air color. I'll put it that way. So I've used the navy, I've used the starlight, I've used the space gray, and now I'm using the sky blue. I think this is my favorite color out of the bunch, and then it's midnight, but that one does attract a little bit more fingerprints, so I really do appreciate this specific sky blue color. And if you want to check out the wallpaper pack, it's called Color Blast. Links will be in the description down below. Now I do want to talk about the pricing. I have the 15-inch model here, and the reason why I picked up the 15-inch, obviously, is I use it for content, I use it for editing videos, just having more screen for me is better. And it starts at $11.99, which is $100 cheaper than the M3 MacBook Air when that came out. That was $12.99. So Apple brought the price down by $100, and if you go with the education discount, it brings it down another $100 to $10.99. So for $10.99, you can pick up a 15-inch MacBook Air with the M4 chipset, 16 gigs of unified memory, and 256 gigs of storage. I think that's a pretty decent deal. Now, 16 gigs of unified memory for me has been really good. Like I don't really need more. Obviously, if I had more, that'd be pretty cool, but I don't really need more. I haven't really have found the need to use it. And for Apple Intelligence, just put that aside. I don't really use Apple Intelligence. And the thing is, Apple Intelligence is not fully baked. So I've used some of the features on my iPhone, but on my MacBook Air, I haven't used any of the Apple Intelligence features. That's why I'm not really talking about it. I don't want to talk about things that I haven't done on my MacBook Air, and that's just not, one of those things I didn't do. So I just didn't really want to talk about it. So for those who do wonder and do ask, that's what I have to say about Apple Intelligence. Now, obviously, if you have the M3 MacBook Air, I wouldn't recommend you picking up M4. And maybe if you even have M2, I wouldn't recommend picking up the M4 MacBook Air. But if you have something older than that, then it makes sense to kind of upgrade to the M4. And whether you want to go with the 13-inch or the 15-inch, that's up to you. I used to use a 13-inch M2 MacBook Air, but once I switched to 15-inch, I was like, nope, there's no way I'm going back. It is a little bit heavier, but it's still really light, and I personally prefer it because obviously more screen, I get more work done. It's just better when I'm editing videos. And I'm always reviewing the latest tech, so it worked out for me. You know, upgrading to the M4 kind of worked out for me. But I'll tell you this, if I wasn't doing this for, you know, my job, then I probably would have kept the M2 MacBook Air. In all honesty, like that was a leap forward in, you know, my workflow. I was using an Intel-based like 2017 MacBook Pro, and yeah, I was really struggling. Like I had to keep my MacBook Pro in charge all the time. If you take it out of charge, within an hour it'll shut off. It was just super slow and buggy. So I'm glad I made the switch to M2. And like I said, if I wasn't reviewing tech, I probably would have kept that M2 and continued to use that as my main device. Now there is some pluses about this that like I said, like I didn't talk about because I don't really use it. I only have one display, one monitor, which is a Samsung M8 monitor, and it also acts as a smart TV. It's a 32-inch 4K smart TV, smart monitor, whatever you want to call it. And I wish I had a second one, because with that I can plug in the MacBook Air and use two monitors with the screen open, with this display open. With previous MacBook Airs with the M3, you had to have the screen closed like this, but now if you have a dual display, a dual monitor setup, you can use this display as well as the dual monitors. So maybe in, you know, future videos you'll see an upgrade with like another Samsung M8 monitor or different monitors or something like that. We'll see as the studio continues to grow, as the channel continues to grow. But for now, I haven't really been using it, and also because I have the M4 Mac Mini kind of hooked up to the monitor, and this is kind of my to-go machine. But you know, if you want to get into the Apple ecosystem with a MacBook, if you're a student and you need it for university, or you're going to high school, whatever it may be, and you want to use it for PowerPoints, you want to use it for documents, you want to use it for Excel spreadsheets, things like that, I think this is going to be a really powerful machine. But not only that, if you are making content, that's the most important thing, and I think I can share my experience with that the most comfortably, is because I use this to make content. If you are in the market looking to make content, you want to start a YouTube channel, you want to start, you know, posting photos and videos on Instagram, whatever it may be, on TikTok, and become a content producer, then you go with MacBook Air as a starting machine. It will not let you down. Obviously, if you put this side by side next to a MacBook Pro and you kind of export the same video and see which one performs better, obviously that's going to perform better. MacBook Pro will perform better, but this is no slouch. It's a powerful machine. You really cannot go wrong, and really does come down to you, the viewer, whether you want to pick up the 15-inch model or the 13-inch model. But I'm really content with my purchase, and I'm going to continue to use this obviously until M5 comes out. And when that comes out, probably pick that up and review that as well. But so far, it's been a great month. Super happy with my purchase. Super happy with using the base model too, because like I said, don't need the extra storage. I have the Samsung T7 SSD. If I wanted to spend extras on like the configuration, where would I spend it? I'd probably keep the same unified memory as 16 gigs and maybe add some more storage. But that's where like the dilemma happens. Why should I spend extra storage to get 1 terabyte when I can spend that extra storage to get something, you know, like 2 terabytes or 4 terabytes worth of, you know, of an SSD? So it's just like, I would like to have a higher end, but this gets the job done. But anyway, I hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you did, definitely be sure to superman that like button, comment down below, and best of all, share this video, because it really does help out the channel out a lot. It will help push my content out to more people. Definitely be sure to check out my wallpaper pack. It's called Color Blast. I'll be leaving links in the description down below to my wallpaper packs, to my Notion templates. A lot of those things go a long way in helping out the channel. And thank you all so much, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.